Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Jesus Master, way, truth and life, have mercy on us. It is Saturday, January 22, 1994, and I'm standing with John Vincenzo in the cortile, or courtyard, of our house in Rome. The house is situated a short distance from the Basilica of St. Paul's outside the walls. If you've been to Rome, you may have an idea of where that is. At this moment, the camera is showing us what we call the House of Rome. It is a large, practical building with good rooms, and including also a chapel at the second floor level. It was built to coincide with Father Alberione's 80th birthday in 1964. Now we move to the right. And here we have a section connecting the House of Rome on our left to another similar house where we are now looking, which was formerly the general house and where Father Alberione died in 1971. This section, and also the section to the left of it, was in my time used mostly for classes and study. Now it is occupied by what we call the SPICS, the Società Paolino Internazionale Comunicazione Sociale, a training centre in the use of modern media for Paulines and others. That is here towards the middle of our picture, and above it you can see the statue of the Madonna. Now we move further to the right and we see a large white building, which is where the machines, offices and general apostolate activities of the House of Rome are situated. This was completed about 35 years ago and is still very functioning. Finally, we come to the centerpiece of our pilgrimage here, and the centerpiece of a stream of pilgrims, Pauline and otherwise, from Italy and around the world. It's the great Queen of Apostles Shrine, and we are now looking actually at the back of it, which faces onto our courtyard. The front of it is, of course, on the other side. It's Father Alberione's magnificent public statement of his devotion to Mary and his gratitude to her for her lifelong protection of him and his foundation. Now, the shrine is built against a hill. In fact, to the left, there are blocks of flats, much higher than where we are standing. A great deal of excavation work had to be done to carve out a space for this immense building, and done in the very difficult years after World War II in the late 40s. Its overall architectural style is described as Roman Baroque, but with some modifications occasioned by technical problems. And this shrine, of course, represents the very height of Father Alberione's devotion and dedication. We are inside the main building, looking along the corridor which leads to what we call the sub-crypt. This great shrine is composed of 3 levels. At the ground level, where we are now, there is what is called the sub-crypt, or under the crypt section. The word crypt is explained by the dictionary as a subterranean chamber or vault, especially one used as a burial place. It is thus linked in meaning to the catacombs. Above the crypt, where we will be going, is a second section of the building, and that is the real crypt, an unusual circular place of worship which we'll soon be visiting. Finally, there's the third section, which is at the level of the top of the hill I already spoke about, and that's the other side from where we are now. A road runs beside the shrine or basilica at this point, and people come in from the other side. Now we are in the subcrypt. It is at ground floor level and contains the bodies of the ancestors of the Pauline family, Father Alberione and Mother Tecla Merlo. Their presence at the side of the altar, which has as a backdrop a representation of the Trinity, gives the idea of God as the origin and the foundation of our existence. In this area, there is relatively little about Our Lady, apart from some artwork illustrating the most important aspects of religious history. However, we get the idea of her as the biblical woman, embracing everything and being a sort of universal womb for humanity. Well, here we are, of course, outside the tomb of Father Alberione. He has been dead now for 22 years, and his fame is continuing to spread all the time, more and more widely. His cause, as we remember, began about 10 years ago. It's a long and difficult cause because he had a long and varied life. But we are expecting any day now that his heroic virtues will be approved by the Vatican, and then he will get in line with the other members of his foundations who already have had their heroic virtues approved. And of course one has been beatified, that's Blessed Jacardo. We'll be going later on to see where he has been laid in the crypt above this subcrypt where we are now. On the other side of the subcrypt, we have here the tomb of Mother Tecla Merlo, who is the foundress of the Daughters of St. Paul, and also to a certain extent of the sister disciples who were part of the Daughters until they were granted a foundation of their own, according, as we already have explained many times, and Blessed Jacardo was very much involved with that. And the heroic virtues of Mother Tecla have already been approved. So it's a great privilege that we are here in the very place where her remains are entombed.